What is good, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch and Gaming News video. Today, we have some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet adds Yuki and Straya to the mix. So two more returning heroines are confirmed. Now, Yuki and Straya, and I'm probably saying that wrong, so sorry to all my Sword Art Online fans out there, but they will be appearing in Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet with new costumes and actions made for Gun Gal Online, the latest issue of Dengeki PlayStation has revealed. And as previously announced, Lian and Pitui, and I probably said that wrong as well, from Sword Art Online Alternative Gun Gal Online will be added to the game via large-scale update due out after at some point from the initial release. Now, the magazine also details the ultimate fiber gun, wire action, player versus player tactics, four-person party play, and other systems for reproducing the intense gun action of Gun Gal Online. It also has various CG screenshots featuring bath scenes, swimsuits, and more. Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet will launch for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on February 8th in Japan, and in early 2018 in North America and also in Europe. So what do you guys think about all this news that they're releasing for Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet? We've seen some gameplay, and while it does look a little rough around the edges here and there, from what I've seen so far, I've consulted a few Sword Art Online fans out there that have perfectly level opinions when it comes to things. They're not super crazy into it. They don't necessarily hate everything or any other anime that's not associated with it. And they've told me that a lot of the stuff in here as far as the characters that they're adding and what they're putting into this game is actually pretty faithful, and it actually seems like it might be a pretty good title if you're into the anime. Now for me, I'm not into Sword Art Online or Gun Gal or anything like that, so I'm coming from a different perspective of just like a gameplay. Like, they look like anime characters, cool, looks okay to me. I like the graphical style of the game, and I like the shooting RPG mechanics in addition to sword combat as well. It's like a Star Wars anime-ish kind of type of deal. So that actually looks pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to checking out the game at some point. Now, I have talked about this before, and you guys know as far as the whole port begging thing, and I definitely won't be talking about that in this video. I'm just going to be talking about how the game looks as far as adding the characters and what I consulted with when I talked to some Sword Art Online fans. So overall, things are looking pretty good if you're a fan of the anime. Now, we still need to see some hands-on gameplay impressions. We still need to see how it controls, because like I said, things do look a little rough based on the gameplay, but it's not done yet. Obviously, they still have months and months to go at this point, although it's launching in February in Japan, so their time is definitely running out, but I think that they have enough time in order to fix things. If something goes gold in, like, let's say January, because it's launching in February, then they still have this month, October, November, and December to really clean things up before they have to get that off ready to ship to go gold and print on the discs and all that. So what do you guys think about Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC? How are your thoughts on the game so far? What do you think about the gameplay? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here, as somewhat of a surprise to me at least, and it seems like Square Enix will be releasing Star Ocean: The Last Hope in 4K and full HD in a remaster announced for the PS4 and PC, and it's due out digitally on November 28th in Japan. So Square Enix has announced Star Ocean: The Last Hope 4K and full HD remaster for the PlayStation 4 and PC. It will launch as a digital-only title for 2,800 yen on November 28th in Japan. As its name implies, Star Ocean: The Last Hope 4K and full HD remaster is a 4K resolution and full HD remaster of Star Ocean: The Last Hope. Here are the list of features for each version. For the PlayStation 4 version, resolution from 720p on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 to the PlayStation 4 Pro maximum 4K, PlayStation 4 full HD 1080p, functionality to change image settings, shadow and blur settings, etc., trophy support, share button support as well. And the PC version will have functionality to change screen resolution, functionality to change image settings, shadow and blur, etc., Steam achievement support, mouse, keyboard, and PC controller support, functionality to take screenshots without UI. And you can check out the announcement trailer as you guys are doing here, and this one's very interesting because I have a very long and somewhat complex history with this game. Now, I first picked it up on the Xbox 360 back in the day. I think I was in college when this game came out, 2008, 2009, something like that. But I know I was in college. I was over there at Fresno State in my dorm and everything, and I was playing the heck out of this game. A lot of people were hating on it and saying the game sucks and all that, and I can see all of the issues, especially on the Xbox 360. There were some major issues with the disc swapping. Like, you had to swap back and forth, especially if you're trying to 100% the game or get everything. Like, your ship crash lands on one disc, so that if you want to go back to areas in the other disc, you actually have to go back and forth, and as far as switching discs. And the thing about it is that your ship, that's where you can like mix things and make new items and stuff like that. So your ship is kind of important as far as things go, and it crash lands on one of the discs. So it's unfortunate that that happens, because the changing of the disc thing is really annoying with the Xbox 360 version. Now later they released the PS3 version, because remember, it was exclusive to the Xbox 360 because Microsoft was paying money back then for a lot of Japanese titles. So it was exclusive to the Xbox 360 for a while, and then it came to PS3, and it fixed that because the PS3 version was on one Blu-ray disc. But it never really was well received. I don't think it sold really that much, considering the type of marketing promotion like Square Enix put into it. And it's interesting that they're doing this, and they're going the cheap route because there's no physical release, it's just digital only. So maybe they're just testing it out. They're probably working on the PC and just said, hey, we might as well just put it on PS4 as well and release it out there for a really cheap price. So what do you guys think about this game? Originally, did you play it? I played the heck out of it. I got a lot of the achievements. I beat some of the end bosses and the Ethereal Queen and all that, which was extremely difficult, by the way. One of the hardest challenges or bosses that I played. It was really, really hard, especially because you have to get through the endless dungeon. But anyway, that's just beside the point. What do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. This was a funny scam that someone tried to pull on Kickstarter, and we've seen these things before, and I usually don't cover them, but I wanted to cover this one because unfortunately there were literally 20 people who decided that it would be a good idea to donate money to this. So there was a guy by the name of AV, that's what he has his name on there as far as Kickstarter goes, and he was looking for $10,000, only $10,000 to create a Super Mario RPG 2 sequel. And now that it's canceled, obviously it was going to get canceled, but this thing was going for a little bit. I gave it around 24 hours, and that's about the time it took, 24 hours or so before it was canceled. So I want to go over this, guys, and how funny this was, because I found this a comical Kickstarter page. So he goes, Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo was a legendary game. However, there was never a true sequel, and dedicated to making Super Mario RPG 2 happen. With $10,000, guys, that's less than like some of the lowest budget indie games out there. So here's about the project. My vision for Super Mario RPG 2 is a sequel close to the original as possible. For those of you who have experienced, it was really great to experience the magic of the original Super Metroid, and I hope to recapture the same magic we all experienced in the original Super Mario RPG as a sequel. There have been some very poorly developed sequels to the game, and honestly, when I tried these, it felt like an insult to the original game. In my experience, I've seen much demand online from people who very badly want a true sequel to arguably one of the greatest RPGs of all time, the original game, and would gladly pay for a worthy sequel. I am not a coder, however, I know how to project manage, and with adequate funding, I know how to find the right people and manage them to make this happen. I can't. I gotta go on this. This is comical. I had to share this with you guys. The game would be released as freeware and would in no way be affiliated with Nintendo, as to avoid any legal issues or result in the project being shut down. Funds needed would be allocated as follows. 1. Researching and hiring viable coders, programmers, and volunteers. That is most of it. Many hours of programming and coding will need to go into this, and I need to find and compensate the right individuals in order to motivate them and create a project deadline so that Super Mario RPG can become a reality in the near future. Risks and challenges. The biggest risk to the project is a takedown notice from Nintendo. However, this can be avoided with proper funding. I can consult appropriate parties to ensure this project is never at risk. The project has not yet begun. I require adequate funding to hire and find the right personnel for this project. So the biggest risk is maybe his own self, since it was canceled, and he was asking for a pledge of 10 or more, 50 more, 100 or more, 500 or more, or 1,000 or more, 5,000 or more, or $10,000 to be the main character in the game. So if someone decided to fund the whole project, you would have been the main character of the game. So it wouldn't even really be a sequel to Super Mario RPG. It would be Kickstarter RPG, because whoever gave $10,000 would be the main character in the game. Be a part of Super Mario RPG history. Your idea for a main character will be created and put into the game, so as long as it's reasonable, this will be the main character featured in the game. You will have say as to what the character says, acts, etc. If the character idea is too out of place for the game environment and storyline, we will suggest alternatives until a compromise is reached. And the estimated delivery was March 2018. And I just found it hilarious that there was 8 people who backed the 10 or more for $93. There was 8 people who decided that they were going to put their money down for this, and it's just so funny, man. Like, look, for my RPG 2, we all want a true successor, we all want a true sequel, but when you do stupid things like this, you give people some false hope out there, and you make yourself look dumb in the meantime. Obviously, this guy didn't have much information as far as what he was doing, or where he's at, or what's going on, but Abby, whoever you are, you should be slapped, and you should be donkey of the day on the Breakfast Club. Even though they don't follow video games, like, I'm gonna submit you into there, Mr. Abby, for donkey of the day, for thinking that you can do something this dumb and get away with it. Absolutely incredible what some people will do in order for attention. Maybe this was just something of an attention grab to get Nintendo and Square Enix's thoughts out there, but you know what, to be honest, you never know what's going to happen in the future. I want a Super Mario RPG 2 sequel. I know you guys want it as well. So what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier. Be entered to win some awesome prizes. In addition to that, we have Discord voice chat and prize eShop tournaments. Also, make sure you check out our brand new YouTube live gaming page and consider sponsoring PlayerEssence. When you do so, it works just like Twitch, to where you can earn cool emotes for the chat. Plus, you get added on to my friends list in order to participate in all of our tournaments. So check out the link in the description below and consider sponsoring PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.